everyone, my name is Ken Popkin and I'm here today to basically answer three questions that I've been asked to describe about myself. The first being, why do I want to be a data scientist? And then the second is, why would I be excited to work for this company that I'm applying for? And the third question is to talk about a time when I had a challenging situation to work through with my colleagues and how I went about working through that. So moving right along to the three questions. Why do I want to be a data scientist? Well, actually it goes back several years. I was working with a very challenging director, to say the least, and one day in one of her outbursts, she was trying to work through a problem that we were having on the project. She said, "We need a data scientist to really help us fix this stuff." And I was intrigued by that comment. I didn't mention it to her, but that day after work I went out and did a search on exactly what is a data scientist, and I became hooked just by reading that description. It actually aligned really well with the major I had had in college as an applied math economics, and then along with that, it also seemed to fit really well with what I enjoy doing most, which is taking difficult concepts and helping people to be able to understand them in simple terms through visualization, through the use of data, analytics, things of that nature. So to some extent, I was acting like a data scientist even before I knew that was the correct term for it. So why do I want to work on at this company is the second question that I was asked to address. And that's basically just a summation of what I already shared, that it's a good fit for my background. I think that the work that we do here in the consulting space fits well with some of the experience I've had. I worked for Accenture for a number of years in the consulting space. I'm used to going into companies and resolving and working on challenging situations. And in my current position, even though I'm not in consulting, I work with a variety of departments across our space, and just a chance to be able to take the skills that I've picked up over the past 6 months as I've been working on a data science intensive to get a certificate, and it's been about 20 hours a week in addition to my full-time job, and I'm just very eager to be able to go out, align with a company that likes to take on a lot of challenging work and see how I can apply these new skills along with my past experience. Which leads me to my third question, which is a good one. It's tell about a time that you've had conflicts with your colleagues, and I think all of us, whether we're 5 years old or 105, have stories already that we can share where we've had to deal with very challenging situations. And the one I'd like to share today, it actually has to do with data. It goes back to the days before I really understood my own love and passion for data. It was sort of a natural fit, but on a project I was on where we were tasked to put a new e-commerce system into our Southeast Asia division, we knew it was going to be a challenging project going in because we had already put this system in the US, and needless to say, after we got it in, we were all very tired, and we actually had to take sort of a 6-month hiatus where all we did was some relatively easy bug fixes and things of that nature before we were ready to take on another assignment like this. And sure enough, we were about 3 or 4 months into this project. We were moving along. We were actually planning about 5,000 hours of work each month, and it was only me that seemed to realize that we were only completing about 3,000 hours of work each month, which was going to definitely cause us to miss our target go live, which was in 6 or 7 months. So I started to communicate this to my peers and senior leadership, and it did not go over well at all. I was very much looked at as, what's wrong with you? You should see that we're accomplishing great things here. We're continuing to start up new work, and we're fine. We're going to make this date. It was just that hardcore belief that we always tried to cling to as long as we could as a company. So what I did is I was able to use the data that we had gathered already, fortunately with some very good architects that I work with, along with my peers in the project management space. We were tracking to a plan that we had put together, and I was able to show that we are not accomplishing as much work each month as we're planning, and furthermore, our Southeast Asia team the work there was proving to be more challenging and more volume than we had anticipated. So by taking that message up the chain with some visualizations that I put together, we used some burn down charts, some other things, just really taking data and trying to use it in a constructive way to say, hey, we have a problem here. How are we going to try and fix this well in advance of waiting till just a few weeks before we announce, gee, we're not going to make it before the go live. And fortunately, they were receptive when I was able to visualize the problem we were having. And the result or the conclusion that we came to surprised me a little bit. Instead of adding more people to the project and really putting in the extra effort to get there, the senior leadership took a look and said, hey, you know what, there's some other things we could be working on that are a little less risk and we could get high business value from them. So we're actually going to switch our direction, focus some people on those, and deliberately slow down our timeline to put this in Southeast Asia. And fortunately, the story has a happy ending. We were able to accomplish all those objectives over the new period of time that we put together. And to my knowledge, that system was used for a number of years over in our Southeast Asia affiliate. So, hey, that concludes the three things that I wanted to cover today. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you. Bye.